Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel of a now loser. This is of course a video where me, an anime hater, watches his first anime, aka Erased, and this video is a part 2 to part 1. So if you're watching this video and you still haven't seen part 1 yet, watch it right now. Now last time we left off with me absolutely hating this show. Or at least that's how I would have liked to start this video. But in reality, the first 6 episodes have actually been pretty great. Unfortunately. But anyways, I guess let's continue on watching the anime. I really threw up there. That was real. That was real. That was real. Okay, it's time for episode 7. I really want this show to start sucking pretty soon, or else I'm gonna have to tell Rachel I was wrong and lose this whole bet, which I really don't want to do. But man, after listening to the theme song for 7 episodes, it's actually getting kinda catchy, actually. Stop that! So episode 7 begins with Satoru getting one last revival and going back in time, and I love the tension of him saying, "This is my last chance. This is my last revival." Because Plot decided that this is his last chance, you know. The other 2 times it happened, those were fine, but this is the last chance. Wait a minute, can you actually say you watch Erased for the plot? Like, you can actually say I watch an anime for the plot. That's weird. Now, as we revival, we repeat some of the scenes from the last few episodes, and this could get potentially boring just to repeat the old scenes, but I said it potentially could, because somehow this show still just makes it entertaining. Why can't you suck, anime? Also, I like how Kenya and Satoru have this discussion about wanting to be superheroes and wanting to help people. And it's interesting to see this superhero theme keep on getting brought up throughout the entire show. And the more it gets brought up, the more it makes me realize how stupid I was for thinking that the superhero was Satoru's Power Ranger dad. But you know, this talk is almost too sweet. What if Kenya is the actual murderer, not the teacher? Hey, Carter, okay, look, I usually never want to help you, okay? Because I freaking hate you, by the way. Makes sense. Actually, no it doesn't. Why do you hate me so much? It's not important right now. But anyways, look, I am a professional detective, and I know how to solve a mystery. And trust me, this is the most obvious mystery of all time. It is definitely the teacher. Do not doubt yourself. Like, holy crap, it's so obvious, okay? You would be an absolute imbecile to doubt it. Anyways, I'll be back soon to lock you in a closet. Okay, bye-bye. Then we get the scene where Satoru is hanging out with Yuki, and we see he has some interesting films on his shelf, and I'm not talking about playing with fire. And then he quickly hides them and claims that he's holding them for a friend. Was your friend EDP45? Also, next, Satoru goes around and sets up alibis for each of the characters so they can't get blamed for the murder. And this all escalates to Satoru going up to kill Kayu's mom. Now, something I love about this scene is that as Satoru goes up to push the mom, his eyes turn red, which is something we've only seen the killer or the abusive mother do, and now it's basically showing this visual representation of evil is taking place. So now when Satoru is going to do something evil, his eyes turn red. I just think that's a really cool visual detail. But then, of course, Kenya stops him from killing her. Probably a good call, but I would have pushed her. She sucks. Then Satoru and Kenya team up to stop Kayu from getting kidnapped, by, of course, kidnapping her to a bus hideout. And something I really love about these scenes where they're just hanging out on the bus is we see Kayu so much more expressive in her face than she used to be. And we see how much her character has grown to being comfortable with her friends, and I think that's really sweet. Okay, that was episode 7. Unfortunately, another good episode. Frick! I was really hoping that part 2 to this series would actually be a lot more negative than part 1, and they start off with another good episode. Hold on. I am going to think of a flaw. Hold on. I'm thinking. Episode 8 is called Spiral, which is something I feel I'm doing. Each episode I'm liking more and more, and I think I'm spiraling into becoming an anime nerd. A weeb! If I continue on this path, I know I'll have an anime girl body pillow by the end of the video. I know it! No, I must stay strong and keep watching. So this episode has a pretty intense start where this mysterious person walks into the bus while Kayu is inside and starts beating the crap out of some boxes. He's just like, yes, those are the sounds you make when you punch cardboard boxes. And after that tense scene, we cut to the theme song. And no, I didn't tap my foot. Why would you even ask that? But I really do like the dynamic of all the kids pitching in to try to help Kayo. And I really like that while Satoru is doing this, he even has a superhero lunchbox, once again reminding us of that superhero theme. Also, the teacher continues to be sus, okay? Look at that glare. That is the glare of a killer. Also, the animation inside the bus hideout does such a good job of making it feel like this little cozy atmosphere. Until, of course, that dude shows up and starts punching the boxes. Of course. And then next, they find all of the murderer's tools in this bus hideout, which means that they've literally hid Kayo in the murderer's base. Which is not good. So now, after they've lost the safe house, they relocate to Satoru's mom's house, and I love what happens next. The mom reaches out her hand to Kayo, and she flinches, but then Satoru's mom just rubs her head, which so beautifully illustrates how much Kayo has been through, and it contrasts those two moms so good. That scene says so much without using a single word. And then for the rest of the episode, we get to watch Satoru's mom and Kayo bond, and it is genuinely the sweetest part of, I think, the whole series. Stop making me feel things! And then we end the episode by everyone marching down to Kayo's mom's house, and she is pissed. Wow, I officially like 2/3 of an anime. Ew! This is not looking good, but hopefully the last third is gonna suck. Okay, I'm sitting down to watch episode 9, and I'm feeling a little bit queasy. And I'm barfing. I am currently barfing. I'm just running out of episodes to start hating this show, and if the show keeps staying good, I'm going to have to admit that I was wrong about all this, and gosh darn it, I'm tapping my toes to the freaking theme song again! And my finger! Ah! So this episode kicks off with an absolute banger. We watch Kayo's mom divulge into pure insanity as she nearly decapitates Satoru's mom with a frickin' shovel. It's pretty wacky. But as we see her go crazy, the show develops her more and adds onto her character by bringing in her mom. And all of the emotions from all these moms is just brutal. But Kayo's mom is such a sucky character, and I hate her so much that I didn't really want her to have a redemption. In this situation, I probably would have been more like, guys, she's not looking. Now's the time to grab the shovel. Wait a minute, why did I just have a shovel laying around in my room?
Oh, I'm sorry, actually, this is actually my shovel. I should have cleared that up. Yeah, a few days ago, I went out and I robbed the grave of the canceled Ghostbusters 3 film, Hellbent. I dug it up with this shovel, obviously. And then I ended up getting possessed by a ghost from a treasure chest, and then, it doesn't even really make sense that the shovel is here, because the ending was kind of left open to interpretation, because after I was done shooting the video and getting possessed, obviously, I woke up back in the graveyard, so, yeah, but this is my shovel, though, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to filming then. And then we're hit with more brutal emotions as we watch Kayo get taken and as she leaves town with her poem being read over the scene. And seeing Satoru and Kayo say goodbye to each other was genuinely just so sad, but also beautiful. But here is where it hit me. Kayo is now out of the story, and as good as those goodbye scenes were, we still have 3.5 episodes left, and this Kayo story was what I was so invested in. So now that her story is over, the show might have actually just ruined itself.
Yes! This decision to send her off in episode 9 might retroactively destroy the rest of the show. This is exciting, guys! So after Kayu, Satoru has to now shift his priorities to the next girl set to be murdered. So he learns her entire schedule and he keeps track of her and follows her. And it's not that creepy, okay? We also get this great scene where Satoru and his mom have to ride in a car with the teacher, and we see that Satoru looks up to this teacher as a father figure that he never had. Which is unfortunate, because that teacher is a freaking child killer, dude. He also starts doing this little finger tap thing, so I'm guessing the theme song to Erase just came on the radio, because he's acting like how I do when I hear the theme song. Then they go back to Kayu's old bus hideout, and they see that all of the murder supplies have been removed. You know, it's almost like you told one other person about this hideout, and then suddenly all of the stuff is removed. It's almost like you told one other person, one single person. I know y'all are just kids, but like, come on, it's the teacher. Anyways, the group goes up to try to start a conversation with the new girl. And just like if it was me talking to a girl, the conversation ends with them walking away disinterested. So my main problem with this episode is that it just completely peaks in the opening scene and then just kind of goes downhill from there. After Kayu leaves, the show has to reshuffle its characters and goals, which makes this episode feel a little weaker. I just think that the opening scenes and the scenes with the teacher were great, but the rest of the episode was just kind of okay. And maybe this is a sign that the show can't work without Kayu's story. And maybe this is a sign that Rachel was wrong. And I was right! Yeah!
So I'm sitting down for episode 10, and I'm curious to see if this show will actually crumble in the last 3 episodes. I genuinely think it could. But on one hand, I kind of don't want it to, because I've actually really enjoyed this show. But on the other hand, I do kind of want it to suck.
So we start this episode off by continuing to watch our heroes try to talk to this new girl. New girl? I don't watch New Girl. Why would you say that? Anyways, and some awkward yet funny scenes. And they end up inviting her to their hideout, and we see that one dude from the group ends up really bonding with her. And I think that's really interesting that they let one of the background characters now take the lead and save her from being lonely. I just thought that was a really nice subversive touch. But then we see an interesting spin on things. The girl who Satoru yelled at a few episodes ago has now become isolated and lonely. By Satoru's direct actions, she has now become a target of the murderer, or the teacher, I guess. Come on, guys, he's the murderer! So Satoru goes to hang out with that girl, but right when he gets there, she leaves, so he hops in a car with the teacher, and they follow her. And as they drive, the teacher begins to go on this ramble about satisfying your needs, and he begins to tap that finger, and then this happens.
Want a lollipop?
Thank you for asking, but I'm afraid you won't find any there. You see, this isn't my car.
Well, whose car is it, silly? No way. The teacher was the murderer? All along? What? What a real shocking moment that I definitely did not see coming. Then the teacher locks him into the car and drives the car into a river.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Then as he drowns, we see flashes of his life as his revival reels are ripped and the score becomes quiet yet haunting. Rip. What a great conclusion to this episode, leaving us on a massive cliffhanger, and I'm actually genuinely and unfortunately excited to see what happens next in the show. I'm actually super excited to watch an anime. Wait, this isn't my trash can. Oh, this is my laundry bin. Oh, that's gonna be a mess to clean up. Rip.
As I mentally prepared myself to watch the next episode titled Future, I began to ponder my own future. This is episode 11, and I've enjoyed the show a lot so far. It's not just good, it's great. I mean, What has my life come to? If I actually finish this show and like it, what does my future hold? Dirty body pillows, a lot less showers, and shame. That's what it'll hold. I must hold out hope that this will not become my future. I must hold out hope that I will not become a weeb.
So we start this episode off with a horrifying story from the teacher about how he loves to drown hamsters. And then we cut to the theme song. It's not abrupt at all. So we start this episode on a very depressing note, as if the drowning hamsters didn't set the tone enough for you. And we see that his mom has been desperately trying to keep Satoru alive while he's been in a coma for 15 years, while all of his memories have been erased. Wait a minute, erased? That's the name of the show! And they really emphasize how much Satoru's life has now been impacted by what he sacrificed for his friends. And then he gets to meet his actual adult friends. But none of the reunitings hit quite the same emotional level that Kayu's return does. The moment of him getting to see Kayo and her child is so heartwarming, and it makes all of Satoru's struggles and everything he's been through feel worth it. So I just touched on why this change of pace in the story is sweet, but I'll say this new hospital situation and style is taking some getting used to. Mainly because it feels like it's coming out of nowhere because it's coming so late in the show. But in the hospital, we do get a great scene where Satoru is trying to learn how to walk, and he has to keep on pushing himself to get back to where he was. And the editing and detail of him just trying to get back into it is so almost inspiring. But now after 15 years, the killer teacher finally returns, but now as a man. Well, actually, no, he was already a man, actually. I guess the kids grew up a lot, but I guess the teacher didn't really grow up that much, I guess. He returns as an older man. Yep, the teacher is back, but Satoru now doesn't remember that he's the murderer. But to be honest, it's been so obvious that I don't even think a 15-year coma could make you forget it. And the episode ends with the teacher taking Satoru up to the roof to have a chat, which is something my dad never did with me before he left to get that milk. And then the teacher begins to tap his wheelchair, which is like his sign that he's about to murder someone. So let's just all forget that I spent a large percentage of the early half of this video tapping my finger. I'm not a murderer, okay? Probably. But as we get to the top, Satoru reveals that he actually remembers everything. Bum, bum, bum. So this episode wasn't terrible, but it definitely felt off. I think the new setting and style definitely took some getting used to, and I feel like the pace was slowed down significantly from last episode. With that last episode being kind of weaker, if this finale is bad enough, I could actually win this bet. Now that would be a twist, unlike the teacher being revealed as the murderer.
Today is the last day of the 12 days of Erase. How many times did I just say day in that sentence?
A lot.
I mean, to be honest, I never thought I'd get this far in an anime. I never thought I would hit this kind of all-time low. I can't believe how good this show's been, but that last episode kind of felt like a slight stumble, and this means that the finale may fully trip. This bet is far from over. But even if this finale sucks, will I admit that this show has changed the way I perceive anime? Maybe. Some of it can be good.
Son, I'm home with that milk.
Dad?
What are you watching?
No, Dad, I swear it isn't what it looks like.
All this time, and I had no idea I was raising a gay.
Wait a minute, what? I don't think that liking anime necessarily makes you gay. A nerd, yeah. A weeb, yeah. Stupid, yeah. But I don't think gay.
Have you ever thought about the fact, son, that anime rhymes with gay? I thought I raised you to be smart.
You didn't raise me at all. You've been gone for 15 years. What about getting milk takes 15 years?
It's because I got chocolate milk, son. I got chocolate milk. You know what? You don't deserve the best kind of milk. Yeah. You know what? I'm taking my chocolate milk, and I'm going elsewhere. See you later, son. Back. Sorry. It's really hard to open a door holding a gallon of chocolate milk. There we go. Yeah. See you later, son. Tell your mom goodbye. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep on walking backwards. That'll show him. Well, I guess my dad's story isn't going to get a redemption like Ivory's. Oh well.
As I wrestle with these questions, it's time to just give it up to fate. Together, let's watch the finale of Erased. Treasure. And you know what? I won't hide it anymore. The theme song totally slaps.
So we start this episode by going backwards and seeing a talk that he had with a bunch of his friends about how they want to help him. And these scenes are really cool because they tie in a bunch of lines from all out the show and from all the different characters like Ivory, and I just thought that was a really nice touch to make this season feel well crafted. See, when Rachel watched part 1 of the anime review, she was really annoyed that I kept on saying Ivory and not Irie, and she was like, "You're saying the character's name wrong." So just for what you've put me through now, Rachel, Ivory. That's what you get. Please don't be mad at me. Satoru then reveals to his mom that all of his memories have come back. But of course, she already knew that. She's a real son of a witch. Like, actually probably is. Like, she probably actually is the son of a witch. But seriously, their scene hits all the right emotions. And Satoru's mom has really become a quality character of the show. And then we cut back to the teacher and Satoru on the roof having this standoff. And when Satoru describes everything that he's accomplished through his sacrifices, it is truly a great conclusion to his selfish to selfless arc. Then on the roof, tension skyrockets as Satoru makes a run for it. Or I guess more of a roll for it. But then as he goes off the roof, the teacher grabs him and barely stops him as Satoru is playing these mental games with the teacher with this beautiful imagery of the sun rising. Now, unfortunately, as powerful as that scene was, the next scene I think I'm kind of mixed on, because it's revealed that his friends actually caught Satoru in a net. Which, if you ask me, that's a little bit macaroni and cheesy, if you know what I'm saying. Gang gang. Where did the gang gang come from? Then over the final shots of the series, we watch flashes of Satoru's life, and I love seeing him finally make his anime that he always wanted to make. I mean, ew, anime, ew, that's gross, ew, anime, oh, look, I'm barfing, ew, anime, ew. Anyways, that was the anime Erased. Well, guys, this is it. I have officially completed the 12 days of Erased. I finally feel at peace. But now it is time to truly decide who won this bet. So I'm going to go talk to Rachel and discuss this series as a whole. You're not going to want to miss this.
Actually, that is great. You need to sync the audio, so... That's going to be such a pain because now our claps are slightly off. And that's gonna make it so much worse to so just let me clap. What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna be
talking about anime. So how'd you feel about it? The show, Erased.
What show?
Erased. The anime.
What show?
The Erased.
Does not ring a bell.
The one with the one that slapped harder than his abusive mother.
I guess you would have seen part 1.
The soundtrack of this series slaps harder than Kayu's abusive mother.
So you haven't seen the second part yet, so you don't know how I feel.
Ooh, but see, Kayo's mother does not get any less abusive. So...
So you think I enjoyed that?
Oh.
Okay. I went into the show thinking that anime could not be good, okay? I went into the show thinking anime was disgusting, repulsive, vile, a disgrace to God himself, and bad.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah. Well, after watching Erased, I have determined that Erased is unfortunately a pretty good show. I will give you Erased.
See where your spite gets you?
What do you mean spite? I'm not spiteful. Erased is a disgrace to God himself.
But you just said it's good!
Anime is bad. Erased is good though. Erased is a good anime.
Okay, but how many animes have you seen?
1.
And how many have you liked?
0. 1.
How good are those odds exactly? Is that 1 for 1? So it's like 100%?
Pretty sure
so
I'm pretty sure they're pretty bad. These are not good odds for me.
So 100%.
At this rate, I'm already gonna get a body pillow. At this rate.
Well, that's good for anime, bad for your relationship.
I thought that. Oh, look at my. You can't see my journal.
I'm about to hear your show notes.
Can't look at them though. I feel like this show was so like a one season defined show. Like I feel like it had such a defined start and end, and I felt like they wrote it in a way where like everything was like interconnected. They had like the story perfectly planned out for like 12 episodes when they went in. So I think overall, unfortunately, so I have to preference everything by saying unfortunately.
Do we need to get your trash can?
Yeah. Can you give me the trash can?
Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah. Hurry!
I have returned.
That's how a race makes me feel.
Oh, except you really enjoyed it. So
I enjoyed a race so much. Actually, this is actually a pretty good sentence to describe how I feel. I forgot the sentence for a second. I enjoy Erased so much that it makes me feel bad. I have to go through life saying that I like an anime now.
Ooh, it's not stopping there.
What?
Audience, what should I force them to watch next?
Don't give them any ideas.
I have a few ideas.
If you enjoy me, then don't give her any ideas.
But if you would like to make him hate his existence, please give me some ideas.
Counterpoint.
No.
I do not want to hate my existence. Overall, though, I do not think the show is perfect. I know I just said that I really liked it. The show is not perfect. The last 2 episodes, kind of meh. Right when the teacher drives him off into the ocean in his car.
It's a river, but okay, continue.
In a body of water, and he drowns. That moment is super impactful. I love that. The stuff where he's in a coma, I don't find as interesting.
What don't you specifically not like about it?
It feels very disconnected from the entire show.
But it was a slow burn kind of like episode or two because it was so tense, which made you a little bit more invested than you would have been if everything had just happened at once. Because when he ended up living, we were confused. I was confused as to why he was still living.
He should have died.
He should have died. But then when you start finding out more information about what's happening now that he's coming out of his coma, I started becoming very invested again in what happens to Satoru.
I like the mom I like how the mom has like devoted her life to helping him.
Mm-hmm.
I like him meeting his friends, older now. I like seeing his future as an adult. However, I don't find the stuff in the hospital as interesting. I would be fine if it was slow but like emotional, but I don't think the emotional stuff hits quite as good as they were going for, because to me it just felt very disconnected from the rest of the show. Present bits and the kids bit felt very connected, but I don't feel like the hospital bit felt as like in line with the rest of the show. New audio track. Don't mess me up. The audio is resynced. It's resynced now. I thought Erased had really good characters. I enjoyed Satoru, his mom, the teacher. I thought they had all great characters. I enjoyed the emotional stuff, especially Kayu's mother, her relationship and the abuse, and her getting that redemption I thought was cool.
You would enjoy the abuse.
No, that's not what I said. Stop saying it. You're gonna convince me I like abuse.
Did you just try to...
No! Supposed to be talking about Erased, okay?
Yeah, we're just talking about your abusive habits.
I don't have abusive habits. I'm a swell gentleman, okay? Tell them I don't have abusive habits. See, that was a joke. We're laughing. We're having fun. We're having fun here. We're having fun. Tell them you're having fun.
Having fun.
That was convincing. Good job. I really enjoyed the show. I just thought the last 2 episodes were just like a little bit too disconnected from the rest of the show. But overall, the show was so like well written in its 1 season form. I was very impressed with all the ways it tied together because I may have rewatched it. I may have seen it twice now.
I really enjoyed them because
Sure.
if he had just died, I would have been kind of sad because I had gotten quite invested in not only his adult life but his childhood as well because they showed both parts of that. So seeing like him like throughout pretty much his entire life like in 2 very different times. Got me very, very invested in Satoru, our dear friend, and so I would have been really sad if he had died. But I think it would have been. I think it was much more satisfying that they added a little bit at the end where he got to defeat the bad guy and he got to like try for a normal life. It kind of just showed his character arc because at the beginning he was so mad about being put in the hospital, but at the end he ends up being in the hospital because he saved the people he cares about, and he's not bitter about it. He's doing the best that he can to make something of himself, and at the end it shows him like getting that new job and finally being able to like communicate what he feels and write stories the way he always wanted to and not be a pizza boy.
Yeah, so like what I was actually going to bring that up is that the one thing I do really like about the finales, like I really do enjoy the symmetry of in the first episode he gets in the hospital, he's selfish. Last episode he's in the hospital and he's like, yes, I like won. So like I get that shows his selflessness arc and I like that, but just for some reason I just did not register with the Coma episodes as much as I did with the rest of the show.
That just added to the entire feel of the show because he did genuinely change his entire life. The course that his life was going on was completely trashed because he sacrificed himself for Kayo, and if he hadn't done that, then he would have been back where he was. So the fact that they kind of scrapped all of that and started from scratch, basically, with his life, he ended up being at the same age that he was, but it just showed you how different things are now that he's not selfish.
I don't think the actual hospital bits themselves were handled as good as the rest of the show was.
I'm not a movie critic like you are, but I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I don't know that much.
I do still watch My Little Pony, but no, I don't. I haven't done that since 7th grade.
Sure. And okay, you know what? Okay, but let's talk about the big negative for the show. Okay. The twist about the teacher is the most obvious twist I think I've ever seen in any show.
I have a rebuttal. I think that it made the show so much better because the fact that you didn't really have to try and like figure out who the villain was. Yeah, most shows would kind of give you a few curveballs, but the fact that this one didn't kind of makes it more like distinctive in a way. And I really enjoyed it because it just gave you more time to see him interacting with like the kids, and it made you kind of want to be one of those people who screams at the TV screen, like get away from him or something like that, which is something that I did a lot whenever they'd be like together, or even at the end when he was driving out towards the body of water.
Yeah, like I do like this when you get to talk to the screen when you're like, Kayo's mother, go! Oh wait, no. Like when you're like, teacher, yeah, get away from that. Yeah, get away from the kids. Get away from the teacher. That's what I meant to say.
No, you've been really trying to drive home the point that Satoru should have died. Is there something I should know?
No, actually, I don't think Satoru should have died. I just don't like the Coma bits.
But I do like what they did with it. It's a lot better than the alternative. It was just a lot more satisfying. It made the show one of those like, oh, I'm that like a more feel good at the end instead of a.
I like the credits and how they like show Satoru's life, and that's really good.
Yeah,
Are we gonna talk about Ivory?
I would like everyone to know that the second I watched the part 1 of this video, I wanted to smack him because every time he would mention Ivory, he said Ivory instead, and I might still smack him.
Her name's Ivory.
It's Ivory.
Her name's Ivory.
It's Ivory.
It's Ivory. It's definitely Ivory. Ver.
No.
E.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I feel like I thought it was Ivory though. I think in my notes I wrote down Ivory.
It's not Ivory.
Well, you know, we all make mistakes. Like I watched an anime.
And you're about to watch another one.
No! No.
Give me ideas!
No, don't! I don't really want to give more positives because the entire
The entire show's a positive.
No, actually. No. Actually, no. The entire show is not a positive.
Actually, yeah.
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Well, there's not much. I think I already went through all that. I was trying to say, is there anything else?
Is the last note argue with Rachel?
Well, I figured we weren't gonna agree on certain stuff, which I was correct. Yes, the last note is argue with Rachel. We did that. And unfortunately, I really did like Erased. I went in expecting it to be bad, and I came out of it thinking this is actually a really well-written show, and it has actually changed my perception of anime a little bit.
Oh, really?
Anime now is like this giant landfill of garbage, just the most rotten, vile trash. But there's like a little piece of gold right in the middle, and that's where Erased is.
Okay, what about all the other animes that you are going to like in the future?
But they're all bad. Erased is the only good one. I won't like any others.
Isn't he spiteful?
I'm not spiteful.
You are spiteful.
Erase is the only good one.
I'm not gonna make you watch hentai. Like,
I'm not gonna watch hentai.
neither am I.
Erase really surprised me by its writing, its story, its emotions, its character.
Which, to be fair, if I were to see someone on the street wearing the exact same shirt as I am, I would probably be concerned for their sanity. He got me this shirt, actually. It was a birthday present.
Yeah, it was
a birthday present. But you still bought it. So your money is attached to this t-shirt.
I did put it in Tyler's cart, though, because I thought that would be funny to make him check out with it.
That is pretty funny.
But I did pay for it.
Yes, I will agree that some anime watchers are a little bit odd, but just because you like an absolutely...
shower either.
Fine, maybe. Just because you like anime, which is beautifully animated, some of the most amazing, beautiful shows, including this one that I've seen are animes.
The show is very beautifully animated.
Exactly, so you can appreciate that, at least from an artistic standpoint, but they're also the ones that I've seen.
It reminds me of my drawings in art class. That kind of artistic level. That kind of artistic skill.
Yeah.
When are you going to be in art class?
That's a great question. Should I be in cart class? That would make me feel bad.
We can, cart class, I can draw hentai together.
No. I can't do that. You can high five yourself, buddy.
So in conclusion, Rachel,
Yes?
you have won the bet. I actually really liked Erase. I thought it was a great story, told very well, and I enjoyed it a lot. But the best part about liking anime is that I no longer have to shower ever again. I don't have to. Anime people don't have to shower. So I'm gonna go not shower. Ugh.
I hope he doesn't like having a girlfriend.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching the 2 parts to this series, and just, thank you for going on this journey with me. I feel like I've learned a lot. Maybe I was slightly a little too harsh on anime, because while it can be stupid, gross, weird, insane, and stupid, maybe I shouldn't judge everything on the cover it's under. Maybe I should judge everything I should judge everything on what it is itself, and that is how you should review thongs. It's weird how a slip up on your words can really change the meaning of something. But maybe I should stop just judging things on what they look like and really watch it and review each thing as its own thing, instead of grouping everything into one disgusting group. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, I guess I do have to admit that anime can sometimes, potentially, maybe be good. But in the end, Erased really is a good show, and maybe in the future after watching Erased, maybe I'll watch some other anime. I guess it depends on how this video does. So if you want to see more of those videos, please give it a like. I'd actually advise you to give it a thumbs down, because I don't want to watch any more anime. But if you want to see me do it more, I guess you go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe if you want to. But anyways, let's frickin' end this series. I've said so many words. Subscribe, like, I've said all that crap. This is the end of the video. See ya.